Every morning, as I leave my house, I ride a roller coaster down my street. However, I'm not screaming with excitement. I'm yelling at New Orleans and its damn roads. I have lived in uptown New Orleans for just about a year now. My road has looked like this since I moved in. Alright, so I'm going to attempt driving down my road, the speed limit, which is a dangerous task. It's about 3 times faster than you should go on this road, so hopefully I don't pop a tire. Alright, let's see. Turning onto my street. Going 20 miles per hour. There's some bumps. And here we go. Yeah. This is not a pretty one. Okay. Uh-oh. Oh. Yeah. Not great. Not great. The biggest problem I have with the street is that it's not an isolated incident. If you live in New Orleans or if you've ever been here, you know about the infamous pothole problem.
My road was actually worked on at some point. There's old abandoned construction cones to prove it.
Roadwork NOLA's interactive map lists my road as currently under construction, despite it being untouched for a year. They say that construction was to start November 2020 and finish spring 2022.
Based on this information, my road should be almost completely new at this point. And look, I understand that COVID, stopped construction. It slowed down a lot of things. I get that. But I just feel like the lack of communication from Roadwork NOLA and Public Works, it's just disheartening.
Knowing very little about the bureaucracy of New Orleans infrastructure, I first turned to the internet, more specifically to Instagram. There's a locally famous Instagram account that documents potholes in New Orleans called Look at This Fucking Street. I've been following them for quite some time, so I figured I'd reach out and see what they had to say about the streets. Alright, we're gonna call Look at This Fucking Street. The creator was more than happy to have a conversation with me, although he requested he must stay anonymous.
Hello.
Hi, this is Ian for the interview.
Hey Ian, how's it going?
It's going pretty good, man. I guess we'll just start off with the kind of basic question. Why did you start the page? What made you want to do it?
It started as more like the term "look at this fucking street" literally started out of exasperation of trying to navigate the city when there's all these fucked up roads.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that it would be funny for my friends to if I just started posting potholes, but pretty quickly I thought it had some legs because I was getting hundreds of followers pretty promptly, including the city of New Orleans started following pretty quickly. And so I really wanted to, as my bio says, just document the streets as they are. I try to be pretty much agnostic as far as it comes to political stuff. At the start of 2020 and into 2021 is when all these road projects started. So when I first started, it was mainly potholes, but now what we're dealing with is is massive road projects that no one is finishing.
It just feels like every other block in Uptown is under construction, and I'm no project manager, but it just seems like maybe do these one at a time so not every street is closed off. Just a thought. This is what I mean. Why is there 3 roads right next to each other, all dug out, but none are being worked on a Thursday morning? I think the fact that there's so many just empty construction sites proves my point. Either we don't have enough workers, or we started too many projects at once.
And so I'll preface this by saying that I am in no way a street engineer, and I actually know very little about it. I'm just a guy who runs an Instagram account. But my understanding is that there was all of these federal dollars, at least in part from Katrina, but probably other things too, that were going to time out if we didn't start these roadwork projects that have been basically, put off for various reasons. And so my understanding is that those federal dollars we were going to lose access to them. And the way that they can get allocated is if you start the project, but you do not have to finish the project to get the money. So there's a rush to start all of these projects, get those federal dollars, which we desperately need. As with any project, if you rush, there's doesn't seem to be that much planning on behalf of the contractors on how it's going to actually get done. We would love to have new roads. We would love to have a functional water system that doesn't leak fresh water and cause sinkholes. We would love all of that, right? Mm-hmm. But what we don't want to do is have them open up a pit in front of our houses with no plan to finish it. It's going to take longer than I think people really want it to. I'm hopeful that the city will, with pressure from citizens, be more transparent. I think transparency is really what people are wanting and what is lacking on behalf of all of the agencies.
The mayor's office has still not gotten back to me about my media request to interview someone about the streets.
Sorry, my communications is not available. Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
I've left them multiple messages, so I don't really want to fill up their voice machine. This is another example of the city's failure to communicate to their citizens. As I drive down my street back to my house, I can't help but think what Look at This Fucking Street told me.
Are the streets of New Orleans going to get better? I would say in the long term, no. We're dealing with subsidence. We're a very old city. We've got problems that are geographical, that are economic, that are geological, that are in many ways insurmountable. At least a lot of people think that in terms of when it comes to building hard infrastructure on top of what was a swamp. But we know about that. I don't think that should be an excuse for not being transparent, not fixing things promptly, because that can be done.